Hey guys, so we're going to finish our action battle system tutorial for this RPG Maker 2003 engine. This tutorial is going to be a conclusion of our fundamentals. This is going to be a good building block and a good foundational layer for you guys to get a good sense of, what it is you need to implement into your game in terms of a action battle system. So it's obviously not going to be a conclusion of anything, very in-depth or anything complicated, but you can use all of the concepts and all the principles and techniques that I have shown you in the last couple of videos to create your own unique, more creative version of this battle system. So let me just show you guys what the finished battle system looks like. Superficially, it looks very similar to our previous tutorial. However, when the enemy and the character collide, you can see the enemy attacks him. And right now he's just missing because there is a random element to this, but you can see there he landed an attack. And he's just missing a lot, which isn't the norm, but it can happen because it is random. But also, if I attack the enemy, you can see a numerical value is displayed for the damage, and then the enemy is pushed back, and then he respawns. So that's it. That's all you need to know for the foundations. If you know everything up to this point, if you've been following my videos up to this point, my action battle system, or ABS for short, tutorials, then you will have a good foundation to kind of continue on. I will, of course, be taking requests to possibly do specific elements of an action battle system that are more in-depth and more advanced, so a more in-depth look. But that's just something that I will take upon myself to do based on request and based on demand and the response to these videos. The last couple of videos I've honestly gotten like literally 15 total views, so I'm not sure it's really worth continuing on with this. I don't feel like, if it's not benefiting anyone or benefiting very few people, I don't feel like it's a good use of my time. I think my time would be better spent elsewhere. But let's just finish this up, and we'll see how it goes. So all of these are the same as last time. This is just to turn the switches in the database on, and I don't know why it's double clicking, but if I go to page 2, you can see the precondition here, and this is just to set up the monsters or the enemy's HP variables. We already covered these. We've covered this too, the conditions for the enemy HP. The only thing different here is going to be the enemy event itself. So you can see it's a bit more complicated now. Instead of the trigger condition being action key, which was what we used last time, it's now collision with hero. Movement type is also move towards hero with a speed of 6 and the movement frequency of 1. That gives it just enough speed to so it's not like a slow grind and you have to kind of wait for this guy to come towards you. Yes, for example, if I move the speed to 1, we've covered this before in previous tutorials, so this is a decent speed for, say, a enemy of this type. If it was a cheetah you were battling, you would obviously want to increase it. If it was a slug, you'd probably want to decrease speed. But for our purposes, speed of 6 is, serves our purpose. So anyways, we're just going to start off with a conditional branch. This is going to be a variable, so 141, our ABS key input process. Remember, 5 is equal to decision key, so this is saying if the player presses the spacebar or enter on the keyboard, then the following will happen. All we're doing here is increasing the mobs or its enemies HP by 1. Remember, we created that variable last time, so nothing new there. We're doing a 0.4 seconds wait, and that's just to let the battle animation run through the hero's sword swing animation. We're doing a play sound or sound effect strike. So remember, we had the sound effect for when the player presses the enter key. If I go back to my database, go to common events, and then ABS attack. So we have this sword sound effect here. So every time the player presses the enter key, you'll hear that sword because it's being unsheathed. However, we put the strike 5 sound effect within this event because if the player presses enter and you know, the collision has occurred between this event and the player, then you want to add a sound effect indicating that, you know, the sword has gone through this enemy. So that's, you know, appropriate for that. Then we have a flash sprite. So this can be found on page 2 or I think 2 actually. Yeah, page 2 flash sprite right here. And I just have a target this event, a time of 0.5 of a second. I just increased the value for red all the way, decreased the value for green and blue all the way, and increased the strength to its maximum. Then we have a show battle animation 1. You know, we're not working with attack variables or defense variables or evasion variables or dexterity variables. You guys can do that, you know, to make a more complex battle system, and obviously those variables would increase based on your level, your character's level, things like that. But right now we're just going to assume that the character has a value of 1 for his strength indefinitely, and that the monster here has a value of 0 for his defense indefinitely. So we're just going to increase his HP by 1 and show this battle animation of, you know, the number 1 being displayed over this event. Then we have a move event, so this event, and then we're just going to do a face away from hero, because when we attack we want this guy to move backwards or away from the hero, so we're going to do a face away. Then we're going to do a big end jump, move forward, so he's moving forward 1 tile, and then end jump. And then we're just going to check this ignore impossible moves to make sure that, you know, this monster or this enemy is moved regardless. And of course we're going to finish off with a proceed with movements just to ensure that everything over here runs through. So that's it. This is going to occur if the player presses enter on the keyboard, and everything else here would occur, you know, if the player pressed anything except enter, basically. So even if the player doesn't press anything, the rest of this would occur. But if the player presses enter, then you know, the following occurs here, and then the rest of this stuff, which is basically the monster or the enemy attack code, would not, I guess, instantiate. So what we're going to do here is create a randomness to the enemy's attack pattern. I'm just going to create a variable, monster1 hit miss, that's what I named it, operation set equal to, and then you want to check the random number for the operand between 0 and 2 is, you know, alright, you can increase the randomness if you want. 3 levels of randomness is sufficient enough for me. Actually, I think most of the enemies in my game even use 3 levels of randomness at least. So then we're going to do a branch. If that variable monster1 hit miss is equal to 0, then, you know, the following occurs: show battle animation 1 over the player. So we're assuming that this monster has a strength variable or strength attribute of 1, and the hero has a strength or a defense attribute or defense variable of 0. And then we're going to do a flash sprite hero, same thing, just targets hero, and this color is going to be, you know, bright red. And then we're going to do a move event, this event, wait. You know, because he is moving towards the hero, we don't want him to move towards the hero while the hero is being pushed back here. So this is move event hero, turn 180 degrees around. So this is, you know, if the hero is facing left, he's going to face right. If the hero is facing up, he's going to face down, and vice versa. So that's just turn 180 degrees, and then we're going to do a begin jump, move forward, so he's moving forward 1 tile, and then end jump. And of course, ignore impossible moves is checked. And, you know, of course, we finish it off with a proceed with movements just to ensure that that the monster here is waiting until, you know, the hero has moved one tile away from the monster. And finally, if this variable right here, monster 1 hit miss, is anything but 0, so if it's 1 or 2, then we're going to do the enemy miss code. So you can see here the condition is monster 1 hit miss is, you know, numerical value of 1 greater than or equal to, okay? And you're just going to do a show battle animation miss, so this miss animation will appear over the hero. And then we're just going to do a move event, this event, face away from hero, begin jump, move, forward, and end jump. And this is just so the monster isn't constantly, you know, attacking the hero. If you don't move it away, then it's just going to go on a insane loop where, you know, it constantly runs through this, because there will be an infinite amount of collision with the hero in this event. So you definitely want to move this event away from the hero and finish it off with the proceed with movement. For page 2, you're just going to do a variable monster 1 HP is greater than or equal to 4. We did that last time, and you know, it's just the same thing as last time. Do a 0.4 second wait. You're gonna show this battle animation here. This is RTP. This is already in your engine. You know, just look for blinding flash, or you can change this battle animation to whatever you want. And we're just gonna wait 1.5 seconds, then do a flash screen, another show battle animation. Recall B is also RTP default in your engine. And we're gonna do a wait 1 second, just so this animation runs through. Or runs through enough, and then we are going to change the variable for the monster 1 HP back to 0, which would bring this event back to page 1. So that's really it. That's all you need to know for this tutorial. Let me just do something really quick. I didn't add any background music, so let me change it to... Okay, this RTP music is really horrible. So, I don't know, maybe there's something more interesting in here. Fierce battle, maybe. Yeah, that sounds cool. Okay, so let's play it one more time. And of course, if I press shift, I can increase my movement speed. We're not going to cover that for this tutorial. I'll consider doing that in the future. You know, I'm seeing a huge decrease in interest for my RPG Maker tutorial, so I'm thinking of just moving on. If there is anyone who wants to know how to specifically do well, anything, but you know, even this increased move you know, speed, or like a run system or whatever, I can get on that and help you out specifically. But that is going to be it for this action battle system tutorial. I appreciate those of you who did stick through and you know, viewed these videos here, and hopefully you learned something from them. So with that being said, I will see you guys next week. I'm thinking of doing possibly one more RPG Maker tutorial before I just, you know, move on, you know, seriously move on. And that will probably be a caterpillar system. And then after that, I think I'm going to go straight into Photoshop, and then after Photoshop, I'm going to go back into a more complex engine and continue on from there. But I hope you guys have enjoyed my video so far, and look forward to seeing, you know, the last few on RPG Maker. And hopefully the future for Lotus Soft will be brighter after that. So you know, thanks for all the support. Thank you to all the subscribers thus far. Thank you to all of those individuals who have, you know, hit liked on my Facebook page. I don't have any blog followers yet, but I had, you know, some commenters and people who you know, frequent my blog. I don't know why they wouldn't follow it, but I have had you know, a couple of people who frequent my blog regularly, so I appreciate that. Yeah, so that's That's really it. Blabbering on as I always do. Okay, well, take care, guys.